experience.
Let's take some calls here. I could talk to you for 10 more hours, but we better get to these calls. Bill in West Hartford, Connecticut. Hey, Bill, thanks for joining us. Go ahead.
Yes, hi, Dr. Tyson. Yes, I'm an amateur astronomer and an atheist, which George Norrie failed to say, but that's okay. I wanted to say that first because I agree with everything you just said, but I have two questions that don't involve religion. The first question is on the James Webb Space Telescope in relation to Tabby Star, that may have the alien megastructure around it. And the second question relates to Donald Trump and NASA. I'll explain. Question number one, the James Webb Space Telescope, there's a great article, I think you know, in today's New York Times Science Times section. My question is specifically, when James Webb is launched in less than 2 years, October 2018, since it's an infrared space telescope, heat energy, will it be aimed at and be able to tell if at Tabby Star, by maybe picking up some anomalous heat, if there indeed may be, in fact, an alien megastructure that's making that star dip, I think it's 22% or something like that at odd times. And question number two regarding President-elect Donald Trump, who I can't stand. I voted for Hillary Clinton. But nevertheless, my question is relating President-elect Donald Trump to NASA. Since he is talking about infrastructure on planet Earth, will he be not only for space infrastructure? In other words, what I'm saying is, could Donald Trump be the 21st century John F. Kennedy with regards to space exploration?
Wow. Okay. So a couple of things. Let me take your second question first, and then back into the other one. I haven't seen any write-ups on his space policy.
No, nor have I, Neil.
And there's random other commentary that doesn't have enough precision to base analysis on. So I'd have to wait until I see what his actual plans are before I can react. And so, but you're right. If he's a real estate developer, he builds stuff. So it may be sensible to think that if he wants to rebuild our infrastructure, and we say, hey, we can build stuff in space too, that might sit comfortably with him.
Right. And he may push privatization of space even more.
That as well. And so that could be in his DNA in ways that we haven't yet seen. So I reserve judgment until I see something more detailed. Now, with regard to Tabby Star, just to get people up to speed on that, it's a star observed by the Kepler telescope. This is the telescope that I said earlier was designed to spot planets orbiting host stars that are Earth-like planets around sun-like stars. And one of the stars, and by the way, it does that by watching the light of the host star dip as the planet passes between us and that host star in its own orbit around it. So it's basically a little bit of an eclipse, but it's a tiny eclipse. It's like a 1% drop or less in the brightness of the star because the light is getting blocked. So you're seeing not so much the planet itself. You're seeing the sunlight dip in brightness because it's getting occulted by this moving object. All right. So we have some expectations based on our knowledge of the structure of solar systems, what these things should look like. And this is what led to the catalog with 3,000 planets in it. One such star, Tabby Star, named after the lead author of the paper that announced it, has light dimming that we cannot explain by any rational means. 22%. This would have to be some humondo planet never before imagined. And plus it's irregular. So there are features of this that we don't know. This immediately led highly imaginative people to suggest that there could be an alien civilization there building structures to surround their host star to capture its energy to then make it a more potent civilization, since the power of civilizations flows by how much energy they wield. So that's an interesting suggestion. It's just a little awkward to explain something we don't understand with something else we don't understand. I try to avoid that because it's fun and it makes good storytelling, but not always does it make good science. So yes, if there are structures they're building around it, there should be an extra infrared signature because it's capturing the heat of the host star. And there's no reason in principle why the James Webb Space Telescope couldn't take a few extra looks at it. And that's what we do generally in astrophysics. If there's a target of interest, we put all telescopes of all different wavelengths of light focused on it so that we can get all kinds of data that we can to get a coherent understanding of the phenomenon.
Love science. We're coming back with final questions.